Well, what a performance, or was any of it real? This was. Capitol Police arrested 17 House Democrats yesterday at an abortion rights protest outside the U.S. Supreme Court. The far-left lawmakers accused of participating in illegal demonstration activity. And then sell tickets to the rest. Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and several other members of the Progressive Squad seem to be faking it. Critics now taking aim at AOC after this video went viral. Notice her wrists together like they're handcuffed, But then somehow, like a magician, she breaks free and starts waving her wrist and fist to the crowd for support. And then again, dutifully crossed her wrist behind her back again to make it look like they were cuffed. One Twitter user writes, AOC is such an expert at getting attention, and Brit Hume called her the queen of gestures. Ocasio-Cortez responded to the criticism in an Instagram. Does she know it's on video? Power panel, Lisa Booth and Leslie Marshall are both Fox News contributors. Great to see you today. Lisa, your top line thoughts.
Oh, Harris, it's just too good. It's just too good. She's the Jussie Smollett of Congress. You know, word to the wise, if you're faking being handcuffed, don't put your fist in there. It kind of gives it all away. I'm surprised she hasn't put out a statement about police brutality at this point after gently being escorted just a few feet away by the police. But look, all the squad, they're all a bunch of posers. I mean, this is someone who says she's a socialist. She wears her tax the rich designer dress to the Met Gala, which is $35,000 a head. She illegally parks her $60,000 Tesla outside of Whole Foods. And then you've got someone like Cori Bush, who wants to defund the police for everyone else, but spends $70,000 in her own private security in 3 months. So they're all just a bunch of posers and hypocrites.
Leslie, your reaction.
Yesterday, Trey Gowdy and I were in agreement, and it's very rare, of recording a podcast when he said when he was in Congress, it isn't like it is now. And what he said is now it's about how many TikTok followers you have. We have AOC on the left, MTG on the right. And one of the things, Harris, that bothers me about my fellow Democrats is when you have an issue this pressing, which I agree it is. First, the First Amendment does not allow you to block roads when the police are telling you you're blocking and gives you 3 warnings. And they don't need to do this or to march. They are congressional members. They're House members. They can legislate. They have the power to legislate. They also have the power to raise money and to put money into races with the midterms coming up, where things can change in states after the overturning of Roe v. Wade. So I get tired of the marching. I want more check writing and voting.
Yeah, this isn't just marketing, though. I mean, marching. It's marketing as well, as you so succinctly put it. And by the way, what you're talking about is moving with strategy from experience. Maybe she and others just don't have the experience on how to get that done. All of the things that you say on your list to get done with regard to this issue. Let's move to this. Trump endorsed Dan Cox, winning the Republican Party's nomination for Maryland governor. He won over his more moderate rival in yesterday's primary race. But in such a heavily Democratic state, political analysts are predicting an uphill battle for him in November. Cox's victory comes after Democrats spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in television ads supporting him. It's a strategy the party is using in a few states now in the hopes far-right candidates would be less competitive for them to run against in the midterms. But one MSNBC host warns it could backfire. Ooh. Dan Cox was questioned about the boost that he got from Democrats. He says the party didn't want him to win. Watch.
That's just not the case. We were running far ahead ever since we announced on July 4th. Democrats are afraid, I think. The progressive Democrats see our candidacy as the only one willing to stand up and articulate the values.
Leslie. Well, there's a whole lot of game playing going on here, Harris, with phone calls and check writing, to my last point. Look, you have people in my party who are really trying to put forth very fringe and very politically dividing candidates because they feel come November, their candidates, my candidate on the Democratic side, will have an easier time beating them.
Do you believe it?
In this race with Cox. Some would argue we saw that with Flores in Texas, and we will see difficult battles for both both of those candidates and some others in November. But we're also seeing Republicans not backing these people, but backing their competition. So certainly there are Republicans that remember twice in our lifetime, and not too long ago, where they lost seats and lost the entire House because they had people who were too politically polarizing, and voters don't like that.
You know, Lisa, this does make me think of Joe Biden every time he says ultra MAGA and kind of goes after the other party. Now, not only are you putting your words and giving them oxygen, now you're going to put your cash there.
Well, I personally think ultra MAGA sounds very cool. It should be a beer or something. I think it sounds awesome, but yeah. But look, I'm not a big fan of Nicole Walsh. She sold out from a pat on the head for the left and also to cash in, but she is right here. And the danger for Democrats, look, I was at the NRCC in 2010 when we were picking up races we weren't even targeting. That's the environment that we are in politically now. You've got a president with record low approval ratings. The vast majority of Americans believing this country is on the wrong track. Republicans want, or Americans want Republicans in control of Congress. So we're in an environment where a lot of these candidates are going to end up winning. And so what Democrats are going to be stuck with is now these MAGA candidates and candidates that are further to the right that are going to be governing states, that are going to be in Congress, that they're going to have to deal with. So as someone who supports that, I'm okay with it. But yeah, Democrats are going to live to regret this. Mark my words.
Well, I can't imagine Republicans being too upset that they're getting a huge fundraising haul from the other side. All right, they're just throwing their cash in. Yeah. We'll see. All right, we'll watch what happens. Leslie and Lisa, always great to have you. Good to see you both.
Thank you, Harris. Take care.
Thank you.